Hello, guys. Welcome back to Sema and Mwita series. Of course, we are honored today to have Madam Violet today. So let us get back to it. Madam Violet, please introduce yourself.
Yes, hello guys. My name is Violet Nduko. I am a teacher of English and literature at Muvuti Boys. I am also the music and drama patron at the school. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam, for that brief introduction. So let's start with your journey. How did your love for literature and drama begin, and what has kept you going in both fields?
Wow. My love for drama and literature began way back as a young girl in primary school. I used to do poetry when guests came to our school. I would be called in to entertain them. I also loved reading set books from my elder sister who was in high school. I remember that time my sister in high school, they were doing The Government Inspector and Kisima Changinigi and Mashetani. I would get those books, read them. By the time I had also finished class 8, I had read all the Moses series. You remember the Moses series? Moses in Trouble, Moses, those two booklets. I had read so many of them. By the time I was through with primary school, my passion in reading and literature was so high. So let's just say it is something in me. I love literature. I love drama. I was born read. Yes.
Okay, thank you for that, Madina. Award for English and literature student currently.
Oh, a student in high school or a student in campus? So all together?
In campus
All
or
in
both,
campus.
or a student who maybe want to
Yes.
apply, because CUSIPS is now currently opening.
Yes.
And the students are now choosing courses. So award for that particular student who is maybe looking to take English and literature as a course, and currently a student who is in university taking that particular course.
Yes. I would first of all like to congratulate anyone who is doing literature as a subject, because literature is heavy. Literature is fun, and literature is the mirror of the society. I would really say most of the artistic careers stem from literature. Journalists, musicians, dancers, filmmakers, everybody was made from literature. So it is like the mother course that gives birth to all those other careers in art. So I would encourage most students who are passionate in art, they take literature, because it is the one that breeds and disseminates into all those other artistic careers. I am a teacher, but I am a storyteller, I am a filmmaker, I am a drama teacher. Like, I can diversify into so many other things at the same time, still maintaining my career. So I think literature is great. It's good.
Thank you for that, Madam. Yes. So one more. A misunderstanding about teaching as a career that you would like to clarify.
I think teaching for quite a long time has been viewed as a noble career, and it has not been treated in the same magnitude like the other careers. You find the people, or rather teachers, we are told, do that, God will bless you, God will pay you, you'll be paid in heaven. Of course, we will be paid in heaven, but it is also good to be paid here on earth. So people trivialize teaching as a career so much, and I would say that teachers are not highly remunerated in the same way they are supposed to be remunerated. Yet all the careers stem from education. They stem from teaching. All that doctor you see, that engineer you see, all those great people you see, they stem from teaching. So it is just my cry that teachers are remunerated better, for they do a noble job. They'll be paid in heaven, yes, but it is also good that they are paid here on earth. 100% in heaven, 100%
On earth.
On earth, yes.
That's so sad here that teachers are being,
Yes.
kind of mistreated.
Yes.
One more thing. Balancing teaching, directing, and your studies, of course, at Machakos University must be demanding.
Yes.
How do you manage it all, and what drives you?
Yes. I am postgraduate student at Machakos University in the School of Education, doing education communication technology. I am a teacher. I am a director. I do a lot of art. And I know that is very engaging. Sometimes it wears me down fully. But, life is about balance. And I believe that if you're not able to balance your life, it becomes traumatic. So I know how to balance my career because I give the government all the hours that I'm supposed to give. Then the studies are part-time. Thanks to technology, we can study via technology. We can do online classes thanks to technology. Again, also, I am able to direct at school in the evenings after classes. And sometimes we stretch ourselves a bit that we can even do past time. It is not easy. Let me just say it's not easy, but in one way or another, we have to have it done. Sundays, Saturdays, like we stretch ourselves a lot.
So what is the drive?
What drives me is passion. I am passionate. Something that you're not passionate about, you cannot make it. I am passionate about art. I can wake up at night and script something. I can script a spoken word out of my dreams. I can write a poem. I am just passionate. And, like everything I see and everything I experience, to me is always a room for a story. It is always a room for story. So everything I do is out of passion. Yes.
That's well stated.
Yes.
Okay, you recently participated in the Drama Nationals in Nakuru.
Yes.
What was the experience like for you and your student at Muvuti High School?
Wow. Drama 2025 was adrenaline packed. I tell you, from the time we began the sub-county festivals all the way to the nationals, I knew this one was going to get down because our students, they are Generation Z, they are Alpha.
We have
It is a mixture.
an Alpha.
So these ones are not your normal kind of students. They are woke. They know what they want. They are able to actually pick what is happening in the environment and present it. So I would say my experience this year in drama was none like I had ever experienced before. I had several items, both in the film category and in the stage category, some which went all the way up to the nationals. And I would say for us as a school, it was a big experience. My learners, from what they told me, they learned a lot. They had an experience to express their talent. They had an experience to learn also from other learners. And also as their teacher, I was able to interact with a lot of other teachers out there and see even other levels of growth in different parts of the country. Yes.
Thank you for that insight. That's wonderful.
Yes.
So one more thing, what stood out for you at this year's festival in terms of our themes, performance, or organization?
Poor governance and misuse of public funds and use of technology. Those were very great themes that were expressed in this year's festival. In different genres, that is plays, cultural, creative dances, and most of those items, they always had undertones of poor governance, misuse of public offices and resources, and use of technology. It was very rampant in almost every item that was presented in drama this year. Yes.
Thank you for that. Were there any particular pieces of schools or that inspired you or challenged you in terms of perspective during the nationals?
Of course, you might have heard the Butere dance play. It was not enacted on stage, but the script and the clips are all over the space. Actually, we were saying as directors over there, we were saying the government has already acted the play out there. And now let aside Butere, because it is famous in famous, there's this particular play. Actually, it is the winning play, Muvuti High School. They have a very great play. Actually, if you get time, go to YouTube and watch. It is known as The Classmates. It is focusing on the realities of life of young people after high school and how life changes even to those students who were index number 1, those who seemed to be doing so well in high school. When now they get out here, life gets different, and you find it's like there's a difference in reality of life in high school and life after high school. So that play for me was the catch. I really enjoyed, and it gave us life lessons that we need as teachers to take to our students. Yes.
That's amazing. So as a drama director and a literature teacher,
Yes.
what are some of the biggest challenges you face both in the classroom and on the stage?
Like I had said earlier, when I was talking about balancing, time is usually the issue here, because those learners have to be in class, they have to have all their time in class, and so for you to get time to rehearse with them, and drama is involving, it is adrenaline packed, so for you to even get time to be with those learners, it is very limited time, only in the evenings, and you really have a lot that you need to practice within that particular time. So time is really a challenge. Secondly, there is this notion that drama is time wasting. Drama makes a learner not to perform well in the academics. It is a notion that is there, and it is a notion and a vibe that we need to change. And then lastly, drama is very expensive, and not every school can afford to produce. So sometimes you find as a director, there is a level you want to do your production top notch. But when you look at the spans that are available and what you want to do, you find that it is not very easy for you to do that. So yes, the challenges are many, but we work with what we have. Yes.
That is nice. And of course, you have said that there is that notion that most of the individuals or other students that participate in drama, they do not perform. Is that the case, that those individuals that perform in drama, when it comes to academic, they perform poorly?
No. Personally, for the years that I've taught, I've seen drama give learners some confidence they never had. I've seen it boost their esteem. I've seen it make them believe in themselves, and actually a very good learner of drama. Once they've gotten that exposure and that confidence, they transfer it to the academics, they perform so well. I have learners in the past whom I nurtured, and they went to the university. I have others, actually one. The other day he called me, I saw him on television. He's a renowned journalist. He was a product of drama. Just look around. Most of those people who are go-getters, who are out there doing their things and, very vocal, standing out in our society, they must have had a platform somewhere in drama. So I don't think that is the case. Personally, I am a student of drama. I have made it in life. Of course, I may not be where I want, but at least I am going somewhere. Yes.
Thank you for that, madam. So what lessons have you personally drawn from working with the student in these creative spaces, especially through the intense preparations for drama festivals?
Yes. My experience with learners is that everybody is talented. All of us are talented differently. Everybody has got a different level of creativity that God has input in them. And I have taken it as my duty as a teacher to work with my learners and bring out the best in them, to bring out the best in their creativity. And it gives me so much joy. And it also gives the learners the joy in learning that there's something in them. Even the learners who are viewed like they cannot do something, even in those weak, we may call them weak learners, there is usually something that can always come out of them. So creativity is key, and everybody was born creative. It is just a platform that we all need so that we can release our creativity. And as a good teacher, that is what I am doing with my learners, helping them bring out the best that is in them. Yes, so that is one big lesson that as a teacher, I am learning that everybody is talented. Everybody is creative. Yes.
Thank you for that. So how do you handle situation where your student face rejections or judgment in competitions or in the classroom discussions?
Literature and drama in itself is an arena where we voice our pain, where we voice our rejection, where we voice what we are going through. So personally, I may not be the best teacher, but I use my teaching learning space to make sure every learner is comfortable. We use technology, we use role play, we use dramatization to ensure that every learner, even the one who feels challenged, even the one who feels very down, that they feel that it is friendly and welcoming. In short, I try my level best to nurture and bring out the best. And I know as a student teacher in your psychology classes, there's what we learn in psychology. You are able to learn the learner differences. So as a good teacher, you are able to learn the differences in your learners. You are able to notice the differences. So once we learn and we see those learner differences, we cater for them effectively. Yes.
Thank you. So let us go into details on the echoes of war, the controversy here. 3.
Yes.
So let's talk about the echoes of war played by Butere girls, which was reportedly stopped by the government.
Yes.
So what is your initial reaction when you heard about it?
Before I answer that, let me ask you, have you interacted with that script?
I've interacted with it. Yes.
So according to you, I will still answer you. According to you, what did you see that was the issue with echoes of war, according to you?
According to me, I felt maybe somebody felt he was maybe the play was talking about him. Maybe somebody felt attached with that play. That's according to my overview, but I don't know because I'm not that much. I've not got the opportunity to direct a drama.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me okay. From my tech, when I went through the synopsis and that script, yes, it is set in an Arabic country, and the Sultan, or rather the king, is in controversy with his own son, who is pitted against the poor and bad governors in the country. In a nutshell, that is what I'm saying. And he rallies his peers or his age mates to stand against what is happening. And if we will talk about creativity, the play was creative because the setting was in an Arabic country. Maybe it narrowed down to what happened to our country last year with the Gen Z demonstrations. It narrowed down to such. And I think we are in an era whereby we should be able to voice what is happening in our society, of course in an amicable way, because when you keep quiet, we are the ones who are on the ground and we are supposed to stand up and talk. However, I feel what was the issue actually is not the play, it is the script writer. The big controversy is the script writer, because I witnessed with my own eyes several items that were bringing in the limelight issues that are affecting the. I think the major issue was not that play, that is the Butere play. I think the major issue was, what do we call it? The script writer. because personally I witnessed several items on stage that were clearly depicting poor governance, that were clearly depicting issues that affect our government. Actually, there was a play in Kiswahili that was mentioning the issues to do with SHA and the issues to do with what do we call this this housing, housing levy. Yes, about the housing levy issues. It was there. There was a play, but because the script writer is someone we don't know, it didn't have much of an issue. So personally, in a nutshell, I can say the match Ulabalu with this Butere Girls play was not in essence about the play so much, but about the script writer who has got issues with the powers that be. Yes.
Okay, so you have seen that the director, maybe the script writer, that is Malala, was the one, was the big, that was the big question was.
Yes.
So we all saw that in the media, people was mostly people that are governor, pro-governor, pro the government, the current regime was saying that Malala is not a teacher, therefore he should not be given any opportunity to even step with the girls or directed play. And some even said that Malala was even having an affair with the girls, or there was a human, I don't know, a speaker, a lady who is a leader. She was saying that what was Malala doing or wanted to do with the lady, with the girls, with the Butele guys, that is. And there were girls. So there was like, maybe he was taking, according to her, she was saying that he might be having an affair with the ladies. So to you, do you feel like Malala should be given the opportunity to direct or to script according to even the constitution itself? Or do you think Malala was having some fishy issues with the lady? Because we even heard recently that there's organ trafficking. So what do you think of that? Because there's a minister for health. He is not a doctor, but yet he's leading a ministry full of what? Doctors. And also in the Ministry of Education. The Minister of Education is also not a teacher. He is a lawyer. So what do you think about that?
I think here we go again. Like I've told you, the issue is not the play. According to my view, it is about the script writer. So there are so many people who have been writing. There are so many people who are into art, and that is not their prime career. There's a difference of talent and a difference of career. And talent and the gift is what God gave us. It is something we are passionate. It is something we do even when there is no monetary gain about it. It is something we do out of creativity. So Malala could be a politician and all those things, but he's passionate in art. He has been a script writer for so many years. He has written so many plays. And I am surprised that this year they are against him, while last year he sat there in those galas and in those state concerts. He sat in the front seat with them enjoying plays. He also had plays last year. Just that I think whatever he wrote tickled the powers that be a bit. So the whole Ulabalu, I will still repeat, revolves around the script writer and tickling the powers that be. And of course, when we have a saying in our indigenous language that says, when a goat wants to eat its own, it says it smells bad. I have directly translated that. When a goat wants to eat its own, it says it smells bad. So sometimes it's just about that. I may not talk much because I don't know what is their beef. But if I would say, you cannot stop a person's passion. You cannot stop a person's creativity. Most of the greatest playwrights, most of the greatest novelists, they were nowhere near being teachers. Most of them, actually go do a research yourself. And you see so many people who have thrived and excelled in art, they were not teachers. You cannot limit creativity to teaching. You cannot limit someone's passion to classroom. So personally, I would just say let people's creativity be expounded. And if maybe it is tickling the wrong feathers, it should also be dealt in decorum. It shouldn't just represent a scenario that we saw, children tear gassed, children escorted by policemen, and that trauma, Yes, it should have been dealt in decorum and in a good way. Yes, that's my take.
Thank you for that, Manav. I know maybe we have talked about that, but there's this question here, but I want you to maybe emphasize it. So do you think art, especially student drama, should challenge societal or political issues, or are there boundaries that they should not be crossed?
Art in general is the voice that the society uses to project. It was the evils, the good, So I think art should just be left to be art, because art is just an expression. In the Bill of Rights, we have rules and regulations, and some of them say that only if it threatens human life, it threatens human peace and harmonious coexistence. I think the boundaries should only come in if they are altering the Bill of Rights. But if it is about expression, speaking the truth, presenting what is expected to be done, art should just be let to be art. Let it express what we feel, what we see, what we experience. The only challenge will be if it interferes with the Bill of Rights. Yes.
Okay, thank you for that wonderful response, Madam Violet. So how can you protect artistic expressions in schools while still respecting educational guidelines and national values?
I think this Buteregal saga is a lesson to teachers, to education and policy makers. And I think, and something that we have always done and said is the child comes first. It is usually the child that comes first. Anything that threatens the peace, the safety, the happiness of the child, it should be dealt with. So in future, I would just say, even as creative directors, in anything we do, let's put the child first. Let's ensure that the child is protected from any harm, from anything that threatens their peace. Yes, that is what I would say. But also we allow the child to be able to express themselves artistically.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for that. So thank you for that, Madam Violet. So as a mentor and a teacher, what values do you hope to instill in your student through literature and drama?
Hope, confidence, and resilience. Hope in the sense that even if situations may not be working out the way we hope and the way we want in life, we know that there is always tomorrow. There's room for growth. There's room for progress. So I want them to be hopeful at all times. I want them to be courageous and resilient through life, because through those three, it trickles down to the others. That is integrity, honesty, obedience. So those three are like the pillars that trickle down to the rest.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for that insight. It's just a wonderful response, because hope is one of the most important quality that we need to have. So we're almost done. It's taking long. Looking ahead, how would you like to see a drama and literature evolves in the Kenyan education system?
Let me just even begin looking from this our town. Yes. I have been sitting down and seeing there's little done. There's very little that is done in terms of arts.
Yes.
And before we go to the national level, you need to begin from the grassroots level. What are our county governments? What are they doing about these great talents. It is only in Nairobi whereby everybody is fighting to make it. If down at the grassroots levels, there are platforms, there are places that these young literature and drama passionate students can get a platform, I think we can have a better society, because they graduate very passionate as actors, as comedians, as poets. And you know that one dies after high school because we don't have major platforms that they can exercise that. They have to go to Nairobi or to those major towns so that they can grumble for the little space. If in our small capacities, we could have avenues that we could grow these students right from high school, even after high school, we can really go far. Personally, I'm passionate in growing arts and talent in this town of Machakos. Watch my space. In the years to come, just watch my space. I am very passionate, and I will make sure that the learners who are coming out from school, they will have a platform.
Thank you for that, Moling.
Yes.
And we also praised that your goal and your dreams come into a reality. So what is one moment in your career that reaffirmed your purpose and as an educator and as a creative leader?
One particular
Moment, yeah.
when
Your career reaffirmed your purpose and as an educator and as a creative leader.
When I see learners that I taught in class and I directed in drama, and I see them shining and becoming better, like Brian Nzioki, a very passionate student in drama. The other day, he got a job at NTV. That was my happiest moment. Having seen his journey, where he has come from and how resilient he has been in talent and in drama, that one made me feel so good. Yes.
Thank you for that, madam. It's just wonderful. One more thing before we're almost done. What is your favorite quote?
My favorite?
Your favorite quote?
Yes, you may even know it. I am always putting it all over.
Yeah.
It says, to make a difference, you have to do different. If you keep on doing the same thing, you will keep getting the same results. Do different. That is my mantra.
Thank you.
Yes.
So finally, what message would you give to teachers, students, and policy makers regarding the power of art in education?
Art is the voice. Art is the ground. And we pray next year, because in CBC, creative arts has come in. The policymakers would open bigger doors that creative lesson will be well utilized in school. They ensure that we have all the manpower we need and the resources that we need, so that we produce highly artistic students by the end of the school curriculum. Yes.
That is wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us, Madam Violet. This is Sema na Mwita. We are honored to have you here. This is something that we cannot take it for granted. Yeah. Of course, for our viewers, I hope you have learned something. And please subscribe, like, and comment for more content of this nature. So thank you, Madam Violet. Please be blessed.